The Toronto Blue Jays are back on track as they take 3 out of 4 games against the New York Yankees. They're also interested in an elite base stealer, and the series upcoming ahead should be favorable for the Blue Jays. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, before we get started, I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside my buddy, Nick Gosse. And before we dive into this Jays recap, this Jays look ahead, I just want to thank the boys over at Raptors Digest for giving us this platform to talk about the team that we love the most in pro sports, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays. So, Ben Rogers, Riker Richard, thank you for this opportunity. We
For
both
sure.
really appreciate it. And Nick, thanks for joining me, man. I can't wait to get this off the ground.
Yes, man, me too. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive straight into the Jays series against the New York Yankees. It's always a great feeling, no matter what the vibe is around the team, to go into New York and shut those fans up and just take 3 out of 4 games. It's great. I consider this a huge success, especially
Definitely.
that the Yankees are leading the AL East. So let's dive into Game One here. It was a 9-2 win by the Toronto Blue Jays. Barrios looked great, quality start, 6 and 2/3 innings, 9 Ks. What did you make of Jose Barrios's sort of comeback after that rough start the other night?
He needed it. Like we've talked about off camera before. Barrios is either good or really bad.
Right.
Which is only a this year thing because in the past he's like was known as one of the most consistent pitchers in the league, but
Mhm.
this year has been different. So he needed that. I think that he attacked them well, and even when Barrios is doing bad, he's always attacking the hitters. But on Friday was it? I think it was Friday. He took care of him, and it was great. I love to see it. We needed it though. We needed to start the series with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big reason why the Jays went out and got him
Yeah,
last year at the deadline. They traded 2 big prospects for him, Simeon Woods Richardson
Austin Martin.
and Austin Martin. And he's been, like you said, one of the most consistent starters in the MLB. He's not an ace.
No,
He's never been that ace caliber pitcher,
2-3.
but you can rely on him to go out there every 5 days and give you 6 innings and be a workhorse for you. He doesn't miss starts. So it's been super weird this year having him just, I don't know, with a ballooned ERA, and he gets lit
Super
up
weird.
sometimes. It does not make sense. But I'm not worried about him because he's a great athlete. His mechanics are perfect. I'm not worried about having him for the next 6 years. I think he'll bounce back.
I agree. I think the contract will work out really well. Especially towards the end of it. I feel like once he's older, he'll still be able to. I feel like a lot of his stuff relies on movement and less than like
Yeah.
velocity. So I think he'll be. I think he'll be perfectly fine. And there's a lot of fans out there that are scared. I've seen some tweets and stuff on Reddit about that, but I think he'll be just fine.
I would not push the panic button on that just yet,
No.
just because his delivery is so like smooth,
Yeah.
so repeatable. Uh, I have confidence in him, and I think he'll bounce back. Now, the next topic I want to get to in this 9-2 blowout, thrashing, whatever you want to call it, was a huge win. Springer went 5 for 5. George Springer, I've said it. I've said it. I've been on record saying it. He is the heartbeat of this Blue Jays team, and it's just such a different, potent lineup when he's at the top because everyone is in their place.
Yeah.
Everyone slides into their designated role in the lineup, and you know that you have that stud at the top there.
I think their success snowballs based off of him. I mean, we've seen it the whole year. Whenever I don't know what the record is. It's something like when he's not in the lineup, they're like worse than 500 or something close to that. And when they're in the lineup, since he's signed with the Blue Jays, he's been great. He fouled the ball off I think his shin or whatever, his leg after the first inning of Game One, and then went 5 for 5 after that, and hasn't played since. But like you said, he needs to be in the lineup. I think no matter what.
Yeah, he's a winner. And I was talking to my buddy before. I was just saying, what if you do get to the playoffs with this roster? Who do you trust the most on this Blue Jays team? I said George Springer, even though Vladdy's the best player on the team. He's a World Series MVP. I trust him up at bat.
Yeah, in the playoffs, I think it's him and then Vladdy and then man, I don't even know who the third would be, but I would say Springer as well, especially for a clutch hit. I think Springer would definitely be the guy
Yeah, for
easily.
sure. He's shown it before, and he is that guy. He is that guy. And on Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he hit a clutch 3-run home run that ended up scoring the winning run against the Yankees in Game One.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel like he's been a little up and down at the plate lately. What do you make of his recent stretch?
I think it's been, like you said, up and down. It's been hot. Today he had a pretty rough game. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, he got that wall scraper, 350 feet, I think it was, 3-run bomb. Um, I think he knows what he needs to do, and I think he just needs to execute it. I mean, he's a great hitter, probably the best in the Blue Jays, overall, definitely the best hitter. Um, but Springer probably is close as well. But I think he had a great game one, and he hasn't really been as good since. But I think he's had a great stretch the past month.
Yeah, for sure. And the last topic I want to touch on for Game One here is Yusei Kikuchi finally making the move to the bullpen. I I was ready. If I was the GM of the Jays, I would have signed you, honestly,
Yeah,
to replace him in the rotation. I don't even have to see you pitch, Nick. I don't
I,
have to see it.
I had a
He's
nasty
been
slider.
he's been brutal, dude. He's been so brutal, and this is long overdue.
Yeah, I think one thing I will say, I think that there's still hope for him though over the next 2 years as a starter. You might not agree.
I don't know. I'm a known Yusei Kikuchi hater.
I think that bullpen this year, I think I mean he had a pretty okay inning. It was whatever. He like, gave up two like a hit and a walk, I think, and then struck out two other people.
Yeah,
But I think he'll be a cleanup like Trent Thornton type there for the rest of the year. And then I think he needs to work on some things over the winter. And then I think there's a chance he gets back in the rotation next year. I think they're going to try to because they're paying him 12 million a
yeah.
year.
You definitely want to give him another try there, but the thing it was such a head scratcher when they signed him there
Yeah.
because he's never been good
He had one good half last year. That's
apart
it.
from that first half of last year where he was an all-star.
With the spider tech though.
Everything was working for him, but now he's walking a guy every 2 innings on average.
Yeah.
It seems like he's walking a guy every inning, and it's so frustrating to watch him out there on the mound.
Yeah, it was bad. I have faith in him though. I know you probably don't. I have a bit of faith. Uh,
I don't know. I mean,
Better.
Mitch White looks like he's running away with that fifth spot in the
I agree.
rotation.
And I think next year if they don't sign Ross Stripling, maybe he'll re-sign him. I think they might have a chance for Kikuchi there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Now let's get to Game Two. It was a 4-0 win. This is probably my favorite game of the series. Just it was up and down, just perfectly executed. Gosman was 7 shutout innings,
Yeah.
and I think they pulled him a little bit early. Only had 86 pitches, I think.
I think it was 86, yeah.
Yeah, the, even though he gave us 7 innings, I feel like we could have sent him out there for another one, but it ended up working out. He's been great all year. What did you see from Gosman in this start that maybe we didn't see in previous starts because he has been a little bit inconsistent as well this year.
Yeah, I think it just boils down to a splitter really. I mean, he established it early, was pounding the strike zone with fastballs as well. And his velocity was pretty good, I think. It was like I saw a few 97s in there as well. So I think it all just boils down to him literally just commanding the splitter and like his fastball. I mean, those are his two pitches, and he did it well against the Yankees because if he starts off well with it, and they're chasing to the whole game.
Right.
But I agree that he was pulled a bit early, especially considering they used Romano in a 9-2 game before the game before.
Yeah. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was back in the leadoff spot. No George Springer.
Right.
And we touched on it the game before. There's a little like inconsistency when George Springer isn't there because Lourdes Gurriel is hitting first one game, then he's hitting in the
Fourth,
three
yeah,
hole the
3 or
next.
4, yeah.
So it look it it's not a perfect team. There's a lot of holes. There's not many left-handed bats, not many good left-handed bats on the team, and uh, we need to establish more consistency. But what do you think of Gurriel in the leadoff spot?
It's a good question. It's weird because when he's in the 3 spot, I feel like he always gets clutch hits, and then for some
Yeah,
reason lately, I haven't been as confident with him when there's people on and he's in the leadoff spot. Though I think he's hit like today. He hit a lot of hard balls and they just weren't finding the gap. I think he's a good replacement for Springer when he's not there, but I don't think he's the long term solution. Obviously, I don't
Yeah.
know who else you would throw there. I guess Tapia when he's in, maybe Merrifield. I feel like he could be.
I would after today. I mean, after Game Four,
Yeah,
the final game of the series, I I don't know. I would like to see Whit Merrifield
yeah,
get a fair shake there because I feel like he's been misused since he's gotten to the Blue Jays. But we'll touch on that a little bit later. And Teoscar Hernandez, a two-run home run. The Jays didn't hit many homers in this series. They
nope,
played small ball, but
yeah.
this one was a big one. What would you make of the Blue Jays' approach throughout these four games?
It was better than what it has been the past month. I think
Right.
they got to lay off the pitches away because they kept striking out, especially Teoscar Hernandez. I noticed he strikes out on him a lot, sliders away all the time. They got to just lock in their zone and not chase. When they don't chase and they have like a patient approach, it's like miles better. It's a night and day difference, especially for Vladdy as well. So I think they were just way more patient and they knew what they wanted to do against the Yankees pitchers. Like Garrett Cole as well. They knocked him out of the game in the fifth after not getting a hit through five, I think, or through four. So they adjusted well. I think they're just making adjustments and I think they're back on track even after the fourth game when they lost.
Hmm. Yeah, and a good right-handed pitcher against the Blue Jays. Their formula is fastball low and away,
Literally.
slider low and
Yeah.
away, and that's been getting them. And they know it's coming. They still can't hit it. But this series, they really simplified their approach and they were trying to get base hits. They weren't trying to hit home runs like they've done for the past couple years, for the longest time that I can remember. This entire team has been right-handed and they're trying to hit home runs, more home runs than their opponent, and that's not a sustainable way to win.
Nope.
This is how you got to win in the playoffs.
Agreed.
And this game was a good indication that they can do that consistently. It's just, will they do it?
Yeah, I completely agree. More small ball, less swinging for the fences. Bo Bichette.
Yeah. And about Bo Bichette, in Game Three, it was a 5-2 win by the Blue Jays. Bo Bichette with another hitless night, 0 for 4 in back-to-back nights. He's at least he's playing great defense
He
at
has.
shortstop because man, he has been not Bo Bichette at the plate.
No, he's pulling the ball less. He's hitting it to the opposite field less. He's hitting it everywhere less. And he's not even like we knew he was a free swinger last year when he hit 305 or whatever he hit, but this year it's just 0-2 count every single at bat. It feels like so. He needs to lock it in. I think he'll be okay though. I do. I just think right now this year it's been bad. His defense though somehow has been great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he clearly puts in the work. We're not going to question his work ethic. He's definitely trying to figure it out. But also, uh, myself as a baseball player, when you're in a slump, it feels like you just go up there with an 0-2 count.
Yeah.
You're already in a hole once you step into that batter's box. So maybe that's what it is. He's not selective. We've seen it
No.
before. He's a free swinger, but he's late. It's like he's going up there to swing, but he's not ready to swing. I
Yeah,
don't know if that makes sense.
I know, yeah, it's almost like when I used to play baseball. I couldn't hit very well. I could feel great, but I couldn't hit very well. It's the same thing. It looks like he's guessing half the time, and even when he knows what's coming or he thinks he knows what's coming, he still can't hit it. It's weird.
Like you never used to be able to sneak a fastball by Bo
No,
Bichette, and now teams are just pounding him up and in, and he knows it's coming.
Yeah,
He knows it's coming, and he can't do anything about it. It's worrisome, honestly. It's worrisome because he's supposed to be the second best hitter on this team.
yeah. I think he'll get there. I think it'll take some time. I think by playoffs he might have a little hot streak that'll happen because he had a little bit of a hot streak I think last week for a couple games, but clearly it
Yeah,
didn't carry over to the Yankee series
yeah,
until Game Four.
we have not seen that typical Bo Bichette hot streak. Where he hits
Two
just
for
500
yeah,
for a
no,
10-game span. We haven't seen that all year. I'm still waiting for it because I
we've
think
seen
he
it.
is
Yeah,
capable.
we've seen it from Lourdes and we've seen it from Vladdy. So
Yeah.
Waiting for him.
But in game three, I did see some things that I liked a lot, which was a solid start by Mitch White.
Yep.
It was only 4 innings, but hey, that's what they brought him here to do. And if he can be a stopper from a starter to the bullpen, if he can give you 4 innings and get your bullpen into the game with a manageable lead or a manageable deficit, then that's you'll take that. You'll
Yeah,
take.
I think he did what he has to do. Bullpen's been great. So I love Mitch White. I'm a huge Mitch White guy. So shout out Mitch White for that game. I think he's gonna be huge, especially in the playoffs as a bullpen piece.
Yeah, very handsome guy too.
Yeah, Randall
Very
Grichuk level. Yeah.
yeah.
Zach
Um,
Pop is too. Just shout out.
what?
Zach Pop is. I think he got underrated in the handsome category.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah. If Mitch White didn't get traded, I think he would have been that guy.
Are you serious? I don't know. I don't see it. Who's the most handsome guy on the team?
I don't. We'll go Mitch White. I just saw that. I saw it on like a Reddit thread about Zach Pop, so it wasn't a me comment. It was a Blue Jays faithful comment.
I'm gonna have to look a little harder next time he comes out of the pen, but I don't see it personally. I'll, I'll give him a fair chance though.
He's been
Give him
good
a fair.
though. He's been good.
Yeah, he has been good. And speaking of Zach Pop, the bullpen was great in Game Three.
Yep.
5 solid innings after a solid start by Mitch White. Um, Everyone looked good coming
Great
out of the
game.
pen. Just one earned run in those 5 innings that they did work in. So what do you make of the bullpen in this recent stretch? This past week?
Love it. I feel safe for once when they go out there. With Bass has been exactly what I'd hope he was.
Yeah,
He's great, amazing. Zach Pop throws gas. That one run was like Gleyber Torres like jam shot home run.
yeah.
Other
A
than that,
Yankee Stadium special.
yeah, it was I hated it. But Vladdy got one earlier, so I can't complain too much. Everyone's been good. Simber, I guess getting into game four now in a minute. Simber had a bit of a blow up today, but Simber's been good. Everyone's been great. Romano's himself and Jimmy Garcia. Love Jimmy Garcia. I think the bullpen's been great, and I think they're going to continue to be good. I think we have enough arms in there now to where people can get their rest so they won't burn out.
I don't know. I'm personally still a little worried. I'm a little on the fence about our bullpen. Not because of the way that they've been pitching lately. It's just from what I see, they don't strike a lot of guys out.
That's fair.
They, all the best bullpens in the majors, they have swing and miss stuff. And I love Adam Simber. Don't get me wrong, but the guy's pumping 87 against the best hitters in the world,
Yeah,
and he's not striking guys out. He doesn't walk anybody, but he's not getting them to swing and miss. He's given up a lot of contact. And even Jordan Romano, a closer, supposed to be lights out, he gives up a lot of contact
he
too.
does.
So that's my only worrisome point about the bullpen. But they've done their job. We can't say the bullpen's been blowing it the past couple days.
No, they've been good. I have faith.
And Chapman hit a dinger. Kirk a 2-run double. So we're getting production up and down the lineup, which is nice to see. Because for a little while there, it was just Vladdy hitting home runs
Yeah,
and Vladdy driving in the runs, and we weren't getting much production from anyone else. So it's nice to see some
yep.
contributions from them.
I agree. Need it too, especially in playoff time. We're gonna need everyone to hit Tapia, Biggio. I know you don't like Biggio, but Biggio, Chapman, all of them. They'll need to contribute.
Especially Big Kirky. He's starting to get hot too, so that's nice
Which
to
because he was
see.
cold for a while, so it's good to see him getting good again.
It was only a matter of time.
I agree.
He's too good and too likable to not be performing well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Jansen's been cold, but we'll talk about that in another video, I'm sure.
Jansen's been cold, but it's all right. It's all right.
Defense.
His job is to manage that pitching staff, and he's doing a good job at that. He's a leader on the team, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried if my 9 stick is
I
pumping
agree.
out 10 homers a year and hitting 200. It's fine.
Agreed.
All right. And great defense. Great
Yeah,
defense.
it's been great. Kirk's not been bad either.
No, he's definitely taken a step up in that area this year. So let's jump into game 4 here.
Yep.
Fortunately, we couldn't get the sweep, which, in my opinion, puts the division out of reach. So we're now 8 games back, 6 weeks left in the season. It's doable. especially the way the Yankees have been playing lately. But I just don't see a way in which the Blue Jays overtake them.
I I'm not ready to say it's over yet, but I think it's very difficult. Um, the Yankees go against Scherzer and then DeGrom over the next 2 days. So if we can take care of business against the Red Sox, then we put it within six. But then we needed today's win. I think we're fine regarding the wild card spot after this series. 3 out of 4 is what we needed to take. But if we wanted to
Right.
go for the number one in the East, then definitely needed to win this one today. And it was very attainable, which is the annoying thing. We should
Mhm.
have won today, or we could have. I don't know if we should have. We could have won today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm personally setting my sights on that top wild card spot because I want to
I
host
agree.
that 3 game series.
I agree. We
That's
need
what
it.
I want.
Not in the
And
trop. That's also what we want.
it's that's going to be a dogfight till the end because the Seattle Mariners are a game up from the Blue Jays and they have the tiebreaker. So that's going to be tough. We had a rough stretch there and they've just kept on winning.
I know. It's been every time I looked at it, they've won like 6 of their last 7. And it hurt because if we would have had a decent stretch over the past like month, like even not even a decent stretch, a non like not atrocious stretch, we would have been within 5 games of the Yankees now or 4 because they've been horrible.
Yeah. Well, some nice things that I saw in game 4, unfortunately it was a loss like we mentioned, was Whit Merrifield. He
Great.
was he looked very comfortable in the box, probably the best game that he's played as a Blue Jay, and he hit that double doink homer, which was cool. It was, but everything that he was hitting, it was barreled. He was seeing the ball well, and if he can start to swing it like that former All Star Merrifield that we know, that could be huge for the Blue Jays.
I agree. He 2 walks. He's been doing great. He's been getting on base super fast. I'm happy. I'm happy with the acquisition. I think he needs to start in a playoff series, but we'll see how he does for the rest of the year. I think he might get hot.
Yeah, well, let's get to the playoffs first because
I
we
agree.
have a few teams breathing down our neck here.
Fair. I'm getting ahead of myself. I agree.
So let's get to the playoffs and get to the playoffs in one piece. That would be ideal as well. But Alec Manoa today,
Solid.
6 innings, and he didn't have his best stuff, but he still gives you 6 innings.
Yeah, his that's what he does. Kind of like what Barrios was supposed to do, but
Yeah,
yeah, he always gets 6. I can't even remember the last time he's gotten less than 5 innings. I'm sure there was one stretch in there, but he doesn't.
he's had at least 5 innings in every start this season,
There you go.
except for that one where he took the ball off the elbow, off the comebacker.
That was like 4 innings. Yeah, so can't say he's been falling off a little bit recently. I find like his pitches are a bit less sharp, and he seems I don't know if he's tired or what.
I think it looks like fatigue.
Yeah, his velocity's still there, but yeah, I don't know. I think he's great. I think he'll be fine for a playoffs. I'm a little worried, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely been getting hit a lot more than we're accustomed to. But you got to remember that this is also his first full season in the
Yeah,
majors,
for sure.
right? Like he's going to eclipse 200 innings this season, which is something that he's probably never done in his life.
He hasn't, no.
Yeah. So look, well, he's going to have a couple of. I can't even call this a rough start because he
It's
still
great.
gets
Yeah,
you into the 7th inning with a tied score. You
non-Manoa
know,
start.
if this is bad,
We're in
I'll
good
t-
shape.
I'll take that. I'll take a bad start from Alec Manoa every single time he steps on the mound.
I agree. Overall, I think it was a great game. We lost, but I wasn't mad at it. I was a bit mad at like the bases loaded approach from Lourdes with 1 out and Vladdy, but stuff happens. I think I was happy with the game overall, mainly because we won 3 out of 4.
Right. If this game caused a split, then
I
maybe
agree.
I would have been a little heated and gone on Twitter and said some things. But
Yeah,
it's
well,
all
we'll take
it's
three
all
out of four.
we'll give Andrew Benintendi his
Credit.
credit. He hasn't been hitting much since he got to the Yankees.
We'll give
I'm
Yankees
sure
their
it felt
hope, and
I'm sure it felt good for him to hit that 2-run homer, but I feel like he could have waited a little
agreed.
bit longer. Whatever. It's in the past now, Nick.
Agreed. We'll have to get over it for Tuesday.
Yeah, and one uh, one more topic that I did want to touch on away from this Yankees series. I saw a few rumors on Twitter here and there about Billy Hamilton. The Jays are potentially interested in Billy Hamilton, who is in his prime a perennial 50 base stealer per season, which is insane. I'm not a fast guy, and I don't think I have 50 steals in my life.
I
So it's crazy. It's crazy to me how athletic he is,
yeah.
but I just don't know where he fits on the team. What do
Yeah,
you think of those rumors?
I don't see it. Maybe September call up when the rosters expand. Not a call up, but an addition. I don't know. I feel like we have enough bench pieces as is. Maybe as someone who pinch runs. I that all because we have Jackie Bradley Jr. for defense. So I personally don't see it, but it's just a rumor at the end of the day. I can't see it happening personally.
Yeah. What does Ross Atkins do when we need pitching? He goes out and inquires about a 15th outfielder that we don't need.
Yeah, that's his specialty. So that and bullpen dumpster diving. Those are his two. Those are his two things. But I think we'll see what happens with that. And if he does get added, I think we can make a. We'll have another talk about it then.
Yeah, I personally don't see how he would fit on this team. There are so many outfielders, and he's hitting under 100 this year.
Yeah, I don't even. Maybe as a defensive guy, if we didn't have
Oh
Jackie
fifty
Bradley
nine.
Jr.
Oh
59.
59, Nick.
That's great.
That's ridiculous.
Maybe if we didn't have Jackie Bradley Jr., it would made a bigger sense, but no sense right now. So I don't even want to talk about Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on to the schedule ahead for the Toronto Blue Jays. After they got the Red Sox coming up tomorrow, a 3-game series. Is it at Fenway?
It is, yeah, I believe.
At Fenway, yeah, yeah, at Fenway on Tuesday actually. So not
Tuesday.
tomorrow.
No,
That's
Tuesday.
my bad. That's my bad. But yeah, on Tuesday they get a 3-game series started with the Boston Red Sox, and the schedule past that looks pretty favorable. But what are you most looking forward to in this Boston series?
I wanted to see the pitching continue to do what they did against the Yankees because I think they did great, and I need to see the bats not fall back to their old ways. I think if those two things happen, we can easily sweep the 3-game series, and I want to see the Yankees lose. So maybe we have a chance. I know you kind of have the East written off, but I think it's still possible. But I just think the pitching needs to be there and the hitting needs to continue with their approach that they had against the Yankees. And if they can do that, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, we own the Red Sox.
Agree.
I'll just leave it at that. We
Yep.
own them. We
I think we'll be good.
absolutely own them, and especially at Fenway Park. So let's get three.
I
Let's
agree.
get
Let's get
three,
all
and
three.
let's
We'll have a sweep video.
try to gun for that number one wild card spot. That's what I'm aiming for.
Me
That's what
too.
I'm aiming for.
I think, yeah,
I'm gonna write off the division. I'm sorry.
fair enough. I think I still have a bit of hope there. So if it happens, then I'll
Is
say I
that
told you so. But
is that like actual hope, or is that you just being a Blue Jays homer?
Blue Jays homer. But let's pretend not. I
Okay,
think it's
all
possible.
right. So the next series is the Los Angeles Angels, who also are pretty terrible. And after the Angels, it's the Cubs and then the Pittsburgh Pirates. So that is 9 games against teams that are way below 500. So let's count the Red Sox series too. So 12 games, if my math is correct there.
Yep.
Yeah, 12 games against sub 500 teams. What are you predicting the Blue Jays record to be in those 12 games?
I think predicting, I'm gonna say 8-4. I think we should go at least 9-3.
Okay,
That's my prediction.
I'm gonna go 10-2.
Fair enough. I think it's
10-2.
possible. I think it's possible.
We drop one to the Red Sox, I think, just because they're the Red Sox and they're annoying.
Hmm.
Okay, and we drop one to the Cubs.
I see us dropping one of the Angels in there as well. So I'll go with 9-3.
9-3.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. I'll I'll take 9-3.
me as
I'll
well.
take 9-3. Ten and
Definitely
two is more favorable, but I'll definitely take 9-3.
puts us in a good spot. I think
Yeah, for sure. So that about wraps it up for this episode, this inaugural episode of the Jays
it
Digest.
was a long one.
Once again, I want to thank the boys over at Raptors Digest for giving us this platform. We can't wait to be pumping out the content for you guys. And let us know what you want to see in the comments down below, what you want to hear, what you want us to talk about. The feedback is greatly appreciated
For
and
sure.
it helps us out a lot. So don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel for all your Blue Jays news and what you need to know about the team. Nick, it was a blast, man.
Yes, it was great. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, same.